Welcome back, gorgeous people. Today we're going to be covering 808s. And I know, but shoo, we already did this. And I hear you, young Padawan, we did already do this. And you guys took off with those tips from the first tutorial. I have personally witnessed a lot of you guys' beats get considerably better, and it's so amazing, so I wanted to just keep adding to it. I couldn't resist. So let's not waste any time. Shout out to the comment winner. Comment below for a chance to be featured in the next video. Now let's go. This tutorial will be cut into 3 parts: pattern development, sample manipulation, and 808 mixing. They should be pretty short and sweet, but bear with me if some parts seem a bit drawn out. It'll be worth it, I promise. Okay, like I said last time, shitty sounds will always equal shitty beats. That will never, ever change. I have created a new 808 kit called Paradigm 2. Super original name, I know. It has 88 all brand new high quality 808 samples. A link to the kit can be found in the description below. I will be using the Burden 808 from that kit, but the tips I show you in this video will work for any 808 you're using. The loop I'll be using for this tutorial is from my Rare Candy loop kit, and that can also be found in the description below. Now, I have heard that some people struggle to make 808 patterns. I am going to try to show you one that will work most of the time in trap production. From here, you can begin to add your own sauce while keeping a few things in mind. First, you want to remain in key whenever possible. Nothing is worse than out of pitch 808s, so make sure your sample is tuned and that you know what key you're playing in. Second, less is always more. So keep in mind that the ultimate goal is to get an artist on your beat, not show off every 808 trick you've ever learned. One trick to spice up simple 808 patterns that I'm sure many of you are familiar with is a simple octave bump right before an 808 note hits. There is no real beat spacing recommendation, which is what I think makes this so fun. It's really whatever you want to do. I'll give it a shot here and see what I come up with. Honestly, I'm starting to feel this pattern a lot. We can sauce this up further by adding some slides, which we covered in the first video. Remember that all you have to do to slide an 808 note is add a new note which you will be sliding to, double click that same note, select the slide option and click accept, and then place that note above the note you are sliding from. Keep in mind that the length of the note you are sliding to changes how the slide occurs. This is something that I did not mention in the previous tutorial. Now that we have our simple yet very fire pattern, we can move on to manipulating our 808 sample. I added some drums from the Jodo League and Centerfold drum kits just to keep this from getting too boring. Links to both of those can be found in the description below. Okay, I covered sample manipulation in the previous 808 tutorial. We learned how to pitch and control the play length of our 808s. I'll do all that now, but I won't explain it just to save some time. Check out the previous tutorial if you need a refresher. There is one other trick that I use to add some sauce to my 808s, which is the reduction of the out. The out knob for your 808 sample can be found in the settings tab of your sample. The out controls how your sample fades out and can be used to add a feeling of shortness to your 808. I'm going to play this pattern and mess around with the out knob until I can get some heat out of it. And there you go. Now I have brought every sound into the mixer and I have leveled them to my liking. This portion of the tutorial will focus mainly on the kick and 808 patterns, so I'll solo those tracks now. Every 808 sample does not need EQ, and to be honest, I don't think this one does either. However, I wanted to show you guys what that might look like if you wanted to do it. First, add a parametric EQ2 to the front of your mixer bus. Then, while your kick 808 pattern is playing, right-click band 1, select the order option and pick steep 8. Then use band 1 to cut all frequencies below 30 Hz. Then, using band 7 as it came when you opened the EQ, level off high frequencies. I usually do this to eliminate frequencies from my 808 that may be clashing with other sounds. Even now with just the kick and 808 playing, you can notice that after the EQ, the 808 isn't clashing as much with the kick anymore. This is good because the kick, as well as all other sounds in your beat, need space to operate and maneuver. 808s can often be overwhelming, so EQ is one way to take care of that. Just like in the first 808 tutorial, we can sidechain the kick to the 808 by highlighting our kick mixer track, clicking the arrow at the bottom of your 808 mixer track, and selecting the option that says sidechain to this track. Once you have done this, you can add a fruity limiter to the end of your 808 mixer bus, turn the ceiling all the way up, switch the mode from limiter to compressor, and turn the knee all the way up. Then while your song is playing, adjust the threshold until the 808 is being pressed down by the kick in a way that makes you happy. Once the sidechaining is done, we can add some distortion, which will give our 808 some presence in smaller speakers. Now, something that I did not cover in the previous tutorial is 808 spacing. I'm sure this isn't a real term, but what I'm referring to is the bigness and sonic position of your 808. Even though I like this 808 sample a lot already, it's just not thick enough for me. When something like this happens, I usually add a fruity wave shaper and bring this peak up slightly. To be honest, I have no idea what musical wizardry is behind this, but wave shaper always makes my 808s thick as fuck, so I like to use it. Here's the 808 kick pattern without the wave shaper. And here's the 808 kick pattern with the wave shaper. Subtle but ear-catching, especially for an artist or creator who is specifically looking for beefy sounding bass in their track. We can take this 808 spacing concept one step further by stereoizing our 808. To do this, simply go to your 808 mixer track and turn the stereo knob to the left. Turning it to the left will make it more stereo or wider sounding, and turning it to the right will make it more mono or narrow sounding. I don't always do this, but it is a trick that can add some sauce to 808 patterns when used subtly and correctly. I'll tweak it a bit and see what I can come up with. Okay, we are done. See? Short, sweet, and to the point. Here is the song loop with the 808 mixer effects turned off. And here is the loop with all the effects that we've made in this tutorial turned back on. I talked you guys to death for sure, so let's get out of here. Drop a like if you learned at least one thing and share this with a friend who could use some more 808 tips. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with future tutorials and kit releases, and comment a thunderbolt for a heart. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and never stop creating. Just make sure it's dope content only. Peace.